we go. Right. Hello. Good morning. We're currently on the way to pick up a bike, but I thought I'd try to do a little video on the way. And we're going to talk about, I guess, like a bit of the death of motorcycling. Because, did you know that, have you heard of, Groombridge motorcycles?
I know Groombridge in Kent.
Oh, by the way, this is Terry.
Hi.
We're both cub riders, and we're on the way to pick up a bike. But which is a cub. You know Groombridge motorcycles.
I know it. Yeah, down. Is that the one near Eastbourne? Is that the one in Kent?
Yeah, it's the one in Kent. We're on the way to Kent. It's what is it? It's a Kawasaki and him at Royal Enfield dealership, isn't it?
Yes, I know it. Yeah.
Yep. They're gone.
They've gone. But they've gone
for
like donkey's years.
73 years. I looked it up. 73 years.
Jesus
They've gone.
Christ.
They've gone. They've shut up shop after 73 years.
Well, there is a lot of talk about a lot of motorcycle shops shutting down, but more not so much dealers, more people servicing and that kind of stuff.
But yeah, no, the all them they're gone, and it's not, they haven't, P&H Motorcycles haven't said anything officially, but with my sources, they are going to be, they've either closed today or it's going to be closed very, very soon, and then they're going to go for a 3-month refit to become Superbike Factory.
Right, okay.
What do you feel about Superbike Factory?
Well, they sell, I don't want to swear, but yeah, they sell rubbish basically.
Well, the thing, they do sell a lot of rubbish, but they do sell quite well. Because if you look at, I was having a look at their website, and they sell bikes for like second hand, but then you look at the monthly repayments, then that's all people look at is that bike, it looks okay, and that's the monthly repayment. They don't care if it's cheap or,
I suppose their bikes are not rubbish. I think they just don't retail them very well. They don't clean them up. But I think that's why they're cheap, because they don't do the retailing.
But they also, it's like they sell so many, and there's a lot of bad experiences online, but it's like you sell so much in volume that people who have like an okay experience won't rave about them, because it's just like, oh yeah, it works, does the job. They don't say anything. There's loads of people that have had fine experiences.
But let me ask you this question. Are they really selling motorbikes, or are they selling finance?
They are selling finance, yes, you're right.
Just like DFS.
Yeah,
they're not selling sofas or carpets or whatever. They're selling finance.
And it's their finance company, and they're also part of We Buy Any Bike, aren't they? Or they're the same company as well?
They are We Buy Any Bike.
Yeah, so they buy all the bikes in and flog them out, but it's the finance where they make their money.
Yeah, they don't make their money on the bikes. They don't do anything to them. They must clean them, but they don't detail them. They don't take any of the accessories off, or they just leave them as they are.
They're meant to do like a 100-point check on them.
Yeah.
But kick the tyre, front tyre's all right. Kick the rear tyre.
I've been to one Superbike factory, and that's up at Donington Park. And the best part is the cafe they've got. They do a nice breakfast. They do sell riding gear in this one as well. They have quite a good range of riding gear, but the bikes themselves, they are pretty good, but you get the odd ropey one in there.
Anyway, but it's good that they're saving or taking over P&H's shop.
Absolutely.
And the rumour is, or the sources that I have say, that pretty much everyone is going to keep their job as well.
Oh, well, that's good.
And so they've all got the same or similar positions to when they take over. Yeah. So they're still going to be doing clothing, but they're going to call it accessories. So they call it accessories.
Yeah, well, the one that I went to Donington does clothing.
So they do clothing, but they're not going to stock down easy anymore, which is a shame, because that's the kit I like.
Yeah.
But they're gonna still keep accessories, and they're still going to do servicing and MOTs and stuff. So
that at least they're keeping that side.
So they're keeping that side of it. The only, apparently the bonus system's going to change, so whether it's going to be good or bad, I don't know. They don't know yet either. Yeah. So I don't know what it was at P&H exactly.
No, I mean, having bought a few bikes from P&H over the years, same as you have, I've always got a good service.
Yeah.
I forget the guy that's in there, the guy I always deal with. You know, we popped in the other day.
Yeah. I can't remember his name either
He
now.
sold me last 3 bikes, I think.
Oh yeah. So you how many bikes did you buy from P&H over the years?
4.
4. Oh yeah, 1980 they've been around. P&H have.
Yeah, I mean that's a long time.
1980 and then it's well the shop's going right.
Yeah.
There's been no official word of it. If the owner Paul wants to like sell everything and then go back to literally running it out of a shed again, technically I guess he could.
Yeah.
Because the company's not gone yet. You know what I mean?
But what's strange is giving up. You know, they're a dealer for all the major brands, and you know that's not an easy thing to get. And that's, you know, normally like say Groombridge, Kawasaki, Royal Enfield. You know, you don't really get many shops like P&H who do all the major 4 Japanese brands.
But they took over that Chinese one as well. KF Moto.
I don't know.
Yeah, they did KF Moto for about a month, and my mate bought a bike from them and then tried to get it booked in for the first service.
Right.
Because it's under warranty, he wants to get the dealership to do it. Unfortunately, they don't do it anymore because P&H are going. So it's like you can't book it for the first service. So I think he's going to have to run it into a van 200 miles up the country to take it for its first service.
Which is a bit of a joke.
But he wants to keep his warranty, so especially with a Chinese engine.
Yeah.
The new bike and Chinese engine.
Well,
but it's just a shame.
A lot of dealers have had to become or take on Royal Enfield, Chinese manufacturers, because that's what's selling. I mean, if you talk about
well, they say what's selling,
subject
but it's
about
not
death of motorcycling. I mean, what do you think's causing?
Just the age demographic. No one's getting into it anymore.
I think you're right. You know, why would you? And I think motorcyclists only make up probably 1%.
It is 1%, but we make 10% of all accidents.
Yeah. Well, that's because people don't see us coming. It's not our fault.
No, it's not our fault.
But yeah, I thought it was, you know, during like lockdown and that, and you know, people not having, you know, and the way the country's going with the economy, I thought it was people haven't got the money to have a toy anymore, because a lot of motorcyclists are not, you know, full-time motorcyclists, that they have a bike as a toy.
Well, funny enough though, BMW did really well during lockdown. They sold tons of bikes. They did.
Well, maybe people were watching Around the World again with you and McGregor.
Maybe, but they sold
They
sold loads of BMWs. They did.
Yeah, well, I don't know who's buying them, but they're the kind of people that will, you know, trade in every 3 years.
And they've also paid a mortgage off, and they're a bit older.
Yeah, they bought all the panniers, and then they go to Starbucks once a week, all the kit on. No, sorry.
No, ABR. They go to the ABR as well.
Oh, yeah,
once a year.
Forgot about the ABR once a year. We shouldn't, but we did. But yeah, I thought, you know, a lot of people, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have an adventure. Like cars, you know, bikes now that are 20 years old are still reliable as modern day.
How much was your first bike?
My first bike was my first real road bike, VFR 400, and I think I paid something like £800 for it.
Yeah, I think I paid. Okay, well, my first road bike was 1,600 quid, brand new from the shops. It's Honda CG, you know, drum brake. But I think it's because they've added like all the extra gubbins, which has pushed the price up.
We're talking any bike. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what I mean. Just like if you think about it, like
I thought you meant big bike.
Doesn't matter, big bike, small bike. But if you think about it, like the price of entry to get into biking, a 125 is now £4,000.
I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, and I don't blame people for buying Chinese.
They're £2,500 for a Chinese bike.
I know, which at one point they were £800 at one point.
600 quid.
Yeah.
Delivered to your door with the front wheel off.
Yeah, my first real road bike, which was a Piaggio Zip 2-stroke 50.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. I can't remember what I paid for that.
You fit on that?
Yeah, just about. I was a lot skinnier back then, but still tall. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. How much did I pay for that? Probably got it through a deal with a mate or something. It was many years ago. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I mean, the cost of getting a license, you know, a full license.
It's more of a faff to get a bike license than a car license.
Yeah.
Because you literally just take a theory, your car test, you're done. With a bike, it's you have to take then you have to like go and do a CBT, do your theory, do
mod 1,
mod 2. It's a lot. It's double. or triple the price, because you got to rent a bike as well off the instructor.
Well, the thing is, I think you're right with the, people are just not getting into it, because I think you're right, it's the 125s that are costing too much money. Whereas years ago, you turn 16, you get a 50, and that gives you your first taste. Because I never ever take the mick out of anyone on a 50 or a 125, because that's the next generation coming through.
Yeah, it is.
That's when you get your first test or taste.
Well, we ride round on bikes that are less than 125. Well, you don't, but I do.
Mine should be, but it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like you say, the CBT is still relatively cheap, less than £150 probably.
I think it's 100. I think it's around that. Yeah.
But then when you think at 17 you can drive a car, do you want to be putting £4,000 into a bike when actually £4,000 will buy you a good first car, more than a good first car?
Yeah.
And will pay for your driving licence.
Yeah,
probably,
yeah.
Like, to gain it. So yeah, I can see where we're coming from.
Oh, and and you heard of the motorbike shop T Northeast?
One in Harley. Yep.
They're not going, but they are going to close very soon for a few months, it sounds like. And he wants to be shut for 3 months.
Right.
But they're going to relocate while they're doing this. And they're doing a massive refurb to the whole building. They are.
So he's actually lost his space? Or...
No. So I think he owns the land or whatever.
Right.
What's his name? Ian. He owns it. But they're refurbing the whole shop, and they're actually getting rid of. He said, I'm getting rid of motorbike selling. We're not going to sell any more bikes anymore. I'm fed up with selling bikes.
Right.
They move way too slow. People come in, they want to buy the bike, but he hasn't got the right colour in stock.
Yeah.
So he just has to order one in the right colour, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I've had this stock sitting here for it hasn't moved. He's been slowly not restocking his bikes. He's like, no, I'm not. It's a lot of money to have it, because he buys the bikes and sells them on, because it's a lot of money to have sitting there. So he's not going to do any clothing. He's not going to do any parts. He's literally just going to do repairs and MOTs.
Okay.
So he's like taking it back. He's taking it down, sort of thing.
Well, that was his dad's business before. Obviously, it's been going for absolute
three generations apparently.
I remember his dad. His dad had a missing hand, or was that someone that worked there?
I don't know.
For a hand.
I don't know.
But they started off many years ago. Always been motorcycles. They used to be a Reliant dealer as well. So you do the
Yes. My mum said, oh yes, we were looking at Robin Reliant in the window there. Cause
yeah, they used to do all the micro cars, all the Robin Reliants, because when they were having a big clear out, funny enough, I was restoring Reliant, got all my bits from there. But yeah, he's always done MOT, he's always sold bikes, but he's always sold unknown brand of bikes.
Yeah, it's like an Italian Chinese brand at the moment he's selling.
Yeah, he's always sold weird brands. I'm trying to think of the other, Mash,
yeah.
Yeah, he's done that kind of brand.
Yeah, the Mash 400s or whatever it's called, yeah.
But no, it is a shame that, people are finding it difficult. People don't think twice now of spending 10 grand and buying a car, maybe even more, and just buying a car unseen online, even bikes. People don't need to go to the shops anymore. £10,000 might not be a lot of money to some people, but it's a hell of a lot of money to me. And I couldn't just go and buy online. I'd want to go and see the bike. I'd want to go and sit on it. But people do, and I just don't know how they can do that. Would you be able to do it?
What? Yes, I have done.
Oh right.
Well, the bikes I bought for Mikey.
Yeah, I suppose so. That's different. That's second-hand bikes, but
Yeah.
And obviously you know who Mikey is. I've sold a bike to him and I've met him. But yeah, I think buying a brand spanking new bike without going to a dealer and just taking. But I suppose people do it when they pre-order a bike. They actually go to the dealer and still pre-order a bike that's not come out yet.
Yep.
And then
it's like, I want to sit on it. I want to feel it. I want to,
Well, I found the same thing with when I was looking for a Tenere. Tenere 700 was launched and everybody pre-ordered. You couldn't buy one. You could not get one. But what you found out was, after about 6 months, the market was flooded with 6-month-old Teneres with 1,000 miles, where people had pre-ordered them and then didn't get on with them, and then just traded them in for something else, which is really weird. but I don't know who would do that. I wouldn't.
Ooh!
We lost the camera.
That's all right.
That's the first time. I mean, we go for quite a few miles.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. That's all right.
I've just got to take note to where we are.
8 miles. It's fine.
Yeah, but we've still got quite a few miles to fill. So,
Yeah, that's all right.
38.
So yeah,
Death of Motorbikes.
I mean,
it's a subject, that one, isn't it?
but I went to T North East yesterday and I was having a chat with him. I did ask him, and he has actually got quite a lot of C90 parts, but it's all like random bits. And I did like, I don't mind making a good offer to take them all off your hands. He goes, nah. I know that C90 parts are worth money, so he's got them listed.
Worth a try.
Yeah, I was worth a try. I was like, well, if you're clearing out and not doing parts anymore, I'll happily take all the parts. And I've looked at his prices; they're actually really good. They're actually quite reasonably priced.
Right. Okay.
So, like cheaper than Moto, and cheaper than actual Honda as well, but still, quite reasonably priced.
Not cheap enough to buy in bulk, I suppose.
No, he goes, no, not cheap enough. I mean, they are cheap, so. Yeah.
But the problem is, I mean, places like T North East, they're heavily relying on their customer base, and it is an ageing population. You said that already.
Yeah, they're all aging out.
And like you say, no one's buying bikes, and I do think it's because people are not getting into the scooters or the 125s because it's expensive. Because let's face it, when I was 16 and I got a scooter, I didn't know at that point I'd want to ride a motorcycle for the rest of my life. But having done that's what gave me the taste.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah.
I mean, obviously I was riding field bikes before then, but I never knew that I wanted to ride on the road. Going forward. So yeah, I think that's it.
I only got a bike because it was cheap, and I was like, I'm going to run that for a year or two, and then I'll get a car.
Right.
Because I couldn't afford a car, it was silly. I was like, oh, that's silly, I'll just get a bike for a while. And then I was like, oh no, I like it, I'm going to keep the biking. And then here I am, completely addicted.
Well, there's worse addictions to have, isn't there?
It would have been cheaper though.
Yeah, well.
How much did you say you spent like at P&H with buying bikes off them?
I think 26 grand.
26 grand. And then for me, it was we worked it out, it's about 31 grand, about 31,000 pounds spent on just but that's bikes. That includes bikes, servicing, repairs, clothing. Every single bit of clothing I bought was from them.
Yeah.
So like, it's a lot of money, but like, that's if you work it out, it only works out like £1,800 a month. Sorry, a month, a year. Well, about 1,800 a year, roughly.
Well, you could use that Georgie Best quote. The famous footballer. He said, "I spent all my money on women and alcohol, and the rest I wasted." Where you spent all your money on bikes and bike parts, and the rest you've wasted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bikes and bike parts. But like a lot of parts have been bought through them. It's insane. Because I used to get quite a good deal on Honda parts.
Yeah.
So. Because Honda have their recommended retail price.
Right.
So the retail price that Honda recommend that you can sell this to the customer for.
Okay.
So there is wiggle room there.
Yes.
So that.
Well, obviously, I suppose because Honda are not selling just to retail; they're selling to trade as well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Bike. So if you're getting trade price, then.
Well, I wasn't getting trade price, but I was
somewhere
getting in between,
right.
which is quite good.
Now, if we talk about another bike shop local to us, Finn's. Now, they've gone from strength to strength. They've always been independent. They've been going 40 years as well. I use them for all my... The thing is, I never have anything repaired there unless it's something I can't do, but I couldn't tell you when that was. But always for my MOTs, and probably that's all I use them for. But they've got a very loyal base of people.
Yeah, they do.
They've always been that old school garage. If your bike's on the ramp, you can go and watch.
Yeah.
They're very fair pricing, but they've always sold their own bikes, as in they would go and buy bikes, sell.
Are they becoming a Suzuki dealership?
They are now becoming a Suzuki dealership. They've been approached by every Chinese manufacturer going. You name it, they've been approached, and they've always, even Royal Enfield, they've always turned them down because they said you can't trust the product. And I think when I talked to Phil, one of the mechanics, he was saying about 10 years ago, they went, okay, give us a couple of bikes from a Chinese manufacturer. Can't remember which one it was. and they said one of the bikes was so dangerous they had to give a full refund, and they just told them to come and pick them up. But yeah, now they've gone full dealership, but they seem to employ quite a lot of people for a very small branch, but they just go from strength to strength. I've bought a bike or two off them over the years. But yeah, so some are thriving, but I think you're right, it's all about the existing customer base, which is only aging. And I think the death of Harley, if you look in America as well...
Yeah, they're dying off.
They're dying, and again, that's the demographics, that's the age. Obviously, their bikes are a bit rubbish.
They're also very, very, very expensive.
Yeah, they are very, very expensive. No, they're not rubbish bikes, Harleys. They're just, you know, someone likes them. There's an arse for every seat. That's what they say. Sorry, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's fact.
But yeah, obviously Harley, they let themselves down. They were just aiming their bikes at a certain demographic, and that demographic are old. So that's how they lost sales. But I don't think it's anything to do with the type of bikes that are being made at the moment. All the bikes that are coming out, I think, are fantastic. I am a fan of all bikes, but I think it is just down to cost, demographic, which is a shame, really.
It is a shame, yeah.
Because people that don't ride a bike don't know the feeling it can give you.
Yeah, cost of entry. But it's a shame all these bike shops going.
It is a real shame.
When Groombridge was shut, I was like, Groombridge is shut. It's like, no. What do you mean? What do you mean Groombridge is gone? Like, what do you mean they're gone? Like, yeah, they're gone. I'm like, what do you mean they're gone?
I'm still trying to work out where Groombridge is. I'm sure that's
opposite. It's opposite the Shell petrol station.
Yeah, that's East Sussex. It's not. It's on the border of Kent. Yeah,
on the A2 something.
Yeah, you go down the A22. You cut across. Yeah, Heathfield Way. Yeah, I know.
And it's
in Groombridge. Funny
it's
enough.
on the way towards 1066. You go past it if you're going to go the nice train.
Yeah, and you've got a big garage across the road.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of two buildings. One's Kawasaki, one was Royal Enfield.
Yeah, two built. Yeah, two built. Yeah.
So that's completely gone.
It's completely gone.
Jesus, and that's been there for donkeys.
73 years and it's gone. So it's just a sign of the time. Basically, COVID hit P&H and then they never recovered.
Yeah.
So.
But is that to do with COVID or just to do with the demographic?
Oh well, it's a bit of both, but yeah, a bit of both, I reckon.
Right. We've got to turn off now. But
yeah.
Not actually turn off the camera. I mean, just turn off the road.
But yeah, I think we covered it anyway.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else to add. It's actually sad because the people that don't, you know, riding a motorcycle is dangerous. There's no two ways about it. But what's more dangerous is not the people that are riding it, it's the other people on the road. But it's a shame that people are never going to experience the feeling of riding a motorcycle. It's hard to explain. You know, it's good for the soul.
My friend's son just turned 16. And he was always interested in bikes,
right?
But recently he's changed a bit, and he's like, oh, maybe I knew that was going to go, and now he's like, maybe I don't want to get a bike, you know,
yeah.
and he's like, you know what, that's fine. He's kind of a bit relieved. He's like, at the same time, he wanted him to get into bikes, but then he's like. He also kind of like doesn't want him to get into bikes. It's like it is more dangerous now for some reason. People are more distracted.
I've got a son that's coming up 21, and I love him. I mean, you know, I had two C90s, one for him, one for me, but he's just not interested. He loves doing these things with his car. He'll travel around the country. You have to edit that bit out. And you know, go on all sorts of adventures. But he's just not into it. But actually, I'm glad because it is dangerous. But I still would want him to ride, to experience that feeling. I would say wind in your hair, but that's kind of not work for me anymore.
No.
But people say it's good for mental health. It's you know, it's good to get your troubles. But I just really enjoy being on a motorcycle.
Yeah. So it's like even we're not even you're not encouraging people to get onto even though it's like, oh yeah, people should get on a bike. Not my son.
No. I think, I mean, he a little bit older, he could be trusted. I mean, I've managed to encourage someone I work with to get onto a bike.
That's all right.
And we're now working on another guy. He's 24 as well, working on him to get him on a bike. Because he's like, I've always been interested, but it's like, go for it. It's the best thing you'll ever do.
Bike curious.
I Chris onto a bike as well. So yeah, there's been a few people I've encouraged onto bikes. But the other thing about bikes is the friendships. You know, the people you meet. I mean, I'm sitting next to a guy, Pezza. You know, that were 5 years ago, or maybe, I can't remember how long ago it was a complete and utter stranger. Wouldn't know who he was. But what brought us together was a love of bikes.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing that's come out of motorcycling. You know, you meet a lot of good people.
Well, I wouldn't say good people. You meet a lot of people.
Well, I've got to say that because it's your video and we're sitting next to each other. No, but honestly, we have met. You know, you think we're going to someone's house now that we didn't know 5 years ago. We met them in a field somewhere, either at Lock or somewhere, and now we've become good friends. We go away every year together.
Yeah, every year at least once or twice.
You know, we're messaging each other all the time, sharing ideas with projects. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, but no one who doesn't. The only people who watch it, we're just preaching to the choir, to be honest, because no one ever watches. The only people who watch my videos are the people who ride bikes. So, so we've done nothing.
But I think you should encourage your watchers to put their comments, which you will, comment, like, subscribe, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
See, I watch too many of your videos.
And yeah, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments if you feel the same way. And it's a shame that these big bike shops are gone, like getting less and less of them.
Institutions, some of them.
Like landmarks. Like, oh yeah, we'll just meet up so and so's. Now they're gone. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Ciao.